So there we go. We started recording. We said our prayers. We thanked God for everything, and we're going to consummate this. What's that? All right. We're going to consummate this gospel in the stars here. When Jesus was on the cross and he says, "It is finished," this isn't what he was talking about because there was still some more stuff after that, you know. But this is finished when we hit Leo here, and that's what we're in right now. Let me show you some pictures first here. Oh, Jim was on today. He did two Q&As today. It was something. So they taped two Q&As and they played them back to back. So he's got 4 hours of Q&A tonight. Anyway, so here's Leo. He's up here in the sky, right next to Cancer. And you got under Leo is the decans here. You got the Hydra, which is this thing that takes up, they say, like a third of the sky. He takes up a whole lot of the sky. And then on top of him are the other two decans, which is Corvus, which is the crow, which is an animal that devours flesh. So that's what that's all about. And then you have the crater, which is the cup. So that's another decan there. And the cup is big and large, and it's full. Sometimes it's with mixture, sometimes it's not. It's straight, but that's the cup. And this Leo over here, it almost looks like a little lion there. There aren't too many star shapes in the sky that look like things, but Leo looks like a lion, and there's Virgo right there. So here we have actually the Sphinx when you're talking about it, and this is what Leo does. It's the lion. It's the Messiah's consummated triumph. All through the other constellation, he's the lamb slain. So he's going from being the lamb slain to being a vicious lion, and that's this whole thing. You got to get into the viciousness of this with the lion and even the raven. And he's still a lamb to us, but he is a lion to our enemies, and that's a beautiful thing, you know. So this is like the last scene. We have 4 scenes, 3 acts at each scene. So this is the 4th scene, the last scene, and we got the 3 acts, and we'll get to them now. So there's like I said, I showed you all of them, but here's Hydra over here in the sky, okay? And I was trying to pick out the Leo up here. One of these days, I'm going to get into looking at these stars in real time, you know. But you got the cup and the Hydra, the crow over here. You can see them too. All right, and Virgo's back here, and you got Cancer up here somewhere. And like I said, one of these days we'll get into looking at these the way our forefathers did, you know, like Adam, Seth, Enos. They just sat around looking up the skies and saying, "There's the gospel and the stars." And there's so many stars up there, but there was only a few that were picked out to be these constellations, and these guys picked them out. And there you go. You got one right there. That's the big Hydra right there. And then you got the crater, which is on the back of the Hydra, right there. And then you got the Corvus, which is the crow or the raven, and he's also on the back. And they're connected. Some of the stars are shared between Crater and Hydra and Corvus and Hydra. And what did I have Ursa Major there? Oh, I just wanted to see where he was located, because you follow these 2 stars down from Ursa Major, and then you go right into Leo. So that's how you find these things. And when you see the stars in the sky, you'll notice one star. You say, "Oh, there's Sirius," and then you can say, "Okay, you know, now I know where this other one is." You know, so that's the way we're going to do it. If I ever get a chance to get a nice book with stars in them. So there's the picture of the stars there. So you know basically what we're looking at. And we started with Virgo, and now we're coming full circle to Leo. And like I said, this solves the riddle of the Sphinx, because it has the head of Virgo, and it's the body of Leo. And this is the fulfillment of the gospel of the words in Genesis 3:15. Bruise his head and bruise his heel. God tells Satan that the seed of the woman will bruise your head. And we know this is a crushing defeat. It's not a bruising of the heel, which is not to death. When Jesus was on the cross and he died, that's the bruising of the heel. Even though it was a death on the cross, it was a necessary bruising to bring on the resurrection and of course the ascension into heaven, and him being placed at the right hand of power in order to crush the head of the serpent, of the enemy, Satan. And that's what this is all about. So this is the Lion of Judah, and he's laid waste, and he has rended, he's rended, and he's plucked, and you got all of these things about the viciousness of this lion. Oh God, these guys are starting to play the drums out there now. Okay. Okay. And we got couple of words we're going to look at here. Waste, to ruin and destroy. Well, let's look at some of the words for lion here. Hold on, let's see if I got them up here. That's the cup. Where's the lion? Hold on a second. 39, 17. That's going down. I guess I took them down. I had some words up here for lion. There's about 6 or 7 words in the Bible for lion, and the ones that we're concerned with are namely 2. You got 738, 38. This is a lion here, and this is the Ariyah or Ari. The Hebrew name Ariyah. It's a lion, and it's rending and plucking. And another word is al-Assad, and it's a lion who wastes. And the other number is, let me see what I got here. Hold on a second. 717. Oh, there it is. Okay. 717. It's not actually a word for lion, but it means to pluck. So these 2 words are similar. The lion, and it's the lion plucking. And you'll see a little further on, we're going to be talking about in a flame, and it has something to do with a flame of a fire, which is not actually the fire, but the flame is something like the sword of the fire, and it's the glittering part, and it's the part that has the edge on it, and it's the point of the spear. And there's another word for flame. I got it down here somewhere. We'll look into that a little bit later. So, and that's basically what it is when he's talking about destroying. 77:36, 36. Wasteth at noonday. The word is shewed, and that's one of the words we're looking at here. It was to waste, to ruin, or to spoil, and that goes with 77:03. 3. All right, and that's that. 7:03 is shadad, which is to spoil, or to waste, or to destroy. All right, and that's al-Assad, the lion who rends and plunders. So those are the words we looked at: the lion, Ariyah, and Ara, which means to rend and to plunder. And also Nathak means to break or to pluck violently, to pour out. So the Lion of the tribe of Judah, it's for the rending of the prey. Let me see this. Nathak 54:23, 54:23. All right. So we'll get this here. Some words that are in this this constellation here. Nathak, break, drawn away, to pull or tear, to draw off. And when you got Minka al-Assad is a piercing When you put the two of them together, you put the Al Assad and the Minka together, you got 5365. Hold on a second. Five. That's the put out. All right, put out. Nakar. They got Minka, but it's Nakar. Piercing and put out and pierced. And the Assad, where is the Assad? Oh, that's the 7717. Okay, so you put those two words together and you get the piercing and put out. That's that. And so, like I said, there's at least 6 words meaning lion. Some mean young lion, some mean old lion, great lion, a fierce lion, and a young lion. And there's one that's the name of a lion that has to do with atonement. 3715. Let me just throw that up there really quick. Thought that was interesting. 15. Young lion, and it's Kiefer, and it has something to do with atonement, which is kafar. So Kiefer and kafar, these two are related here. This lion and that. I thought that was a little interesting. And that's what was it in Proverbs? Let me see, Proverbs 19 and 12. Excuse me. God, I stopped playing over there. The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass, which isn't much, because you know what happens to the dew on the grass? It goes away. So his wrath is worse than his favor. His favor doesn't last long, but his wrath is as a roaring of a lion. And I looked up, did I look up roaring here? Hold on a second. Roaring, there's a couple of words for roaring, but that's not one of them. Growling, roaring, naham, roar, and mourn. There was a bunch of words for roar that had some very good verses in it. Maybe we'll run into those later too. But that, so, and in the New Testament, it's 30:23, that's a lion. All right, Leon, that's where we get the word Leon from, a lion. All right, so he's the lion of the tribe of Judah. And we can go to, we'll just look some of these verses here. Revelation 5:5. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not, because this is like John, the Revelator. He's watching all of this. You know, he watched everything from Virgo in the sky, and he saw all the pictures of all of this stuff. It was shown to him, and he saw this. Who's going to read this book? Who's worthy to do this? Nobody's worthy to do this. And John was weeping, and one of the elders said, weep not. Behold, the lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. So there's the judgment right there, and it's coming, And then we got Revelation 10, 1-6. Let me do this. Do this here. 10, 1-6 and 7. It says, and I saw another mighty angel coming down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head. And we know this is Jesus. And his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth, cried with a loud voice, when a lion roareth. Let me see what that word roareth is here. Hold on a second. Lion roareth. 34:55. Mukeomai. Look at that one time. Mukeomai. Moves to low bellow, probably horn cattle. Okay. Because there isn't a word for roar in the New Testament. A-R. There's a lot of words for roar in the Old Testament, but there isn't one for roar. But I guess I got that roareth. Got to put the TH in there. All right. So we'll run into some of these roaring verses. There's a lot of good roaring verses, but I just found that one in the New Testament, roareth, and it's only one time in the Bible. as the account as when a lion roareth, mukeomai. All right. And when the seven thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the seven thunders uttered, and write them not. And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven, and sware by him that liveth forever and ever, who created the heaven and the things that are therein, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the seas and the things which are therein, that there should be time no longer. So that's it. That's the end of time. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of God shall be finished, as he hath declared to his servants, the prophets. So that's the consummation there. Let me see. The mystery is declared to the servants and the prophets, and that's finished. So this lion. You'll see it in Genesis 49. I'm going to throw up, I don't know if I got these verses here. Hold on a second. I might put up all these pages before. And then Genesis 49. It's not there. Genesis 49. Here we go. Okay, yeah. Okay, here's all the verses here. Genesis 49, 8. And 9, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down to thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him? And of course, the scepter shall not depart from Judah. And there's a couple of different words for lion there. I'm not going to look at all of them, but you get the idea that Judah is the lion. And also in, what's the other one? 23, Numbers 23. Here we go. I thought it was 23, 24. Hold on a second. I got 24, 8 here. All right, let's read this. God brought him forth out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of a unicorn. He shall eat up the nations, his enemies, and shall break their bones and pierce them through. So this is violent. With his arrows, he couched, he lay down as a lion, and as a great lion, who shall stir him up? Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and cursed is he that cursed thee. And that's Balaam telling Balak what's going to happen here. But I got this 23, 24. Hold on a second. Come on, back it up. 23, 24. Behold, the people shall rise up as a great lion and lift himself up as a young lion. He shall not lie down until he eat the prey and drink the blood of the slain. So this is what we're talking about here. When we're talking about this Leo, this is going to happen. And then Isaiah 42:13. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. And when you get some of the verses with roar here, 68, 73, that's not the one either. There's another word for roar that I was looking at. I don't think I wrote it down. But we will, like I said, we might run into it. But there's another word for roar. That's 42:13. And then you got Amos 3, 4 through 8. But actually, let's go to Amos 1. Amos 1 and 2. And we'll look that up over here. And he said, the Lord will roar from Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the inhabitants of the shepherd shall mourn, and the top of Carmel shall wither. What's this roar over here? This is 7580. That's the big one there. 7580. Shagag, roar, to roar, the lion, conqueror, Jehovah, city of distress. And maybe we'll run into that a little later. I think I got some verses on that there. And that's Amos 1, 2. And then you got Amos 3, 4 through 8. He says, Will a lion roar in the forest when he hath no prey? Will a young lion out of his den? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing? Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is set for it? And that's a trap. Again, shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and the Lord hath not done it? Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. The lion hath roared, who will not fear? The Lord God hath spoken, who can but prophesy? So he's the lion, he's roaring. And we got a couple more that I don't have up here. Well, the 5:5, we read that. But this other one is Hosea 13, 7 and 8. I must have came across this later. I didn't put it up here. Hosea, I passed it. Did I? Come on, no, it's by Daniel. Hosea 13, 7 and 8. 7 and 8, there we go. Therefore I will be unto them as a lion, as a leopard by the way will I observe them. I will meet them as a bear that is bereaved of a whelps, and will rend the call of the heart. And there will I devour them like a lion. The wild beast shall tear them. And then you got Zephaniah 3:8, talking about what he's going to do here. 3:8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. A lot of good images in there. So it's a great lion. A lion, it's coming forth as a flame of fire. And this word here, the flame of fire, I think it was, let me see, is it Psalms 50? Hold on a second. Psalms 50, 22. Let me see. I don't think that's it, but I'm going to take a look anyway. Psalms 50, 22. 50, 22. Nope. Now consider this, ye that forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. You know, you never realize all these verses that when he's talking about tearing in pieces and plucking and rending, and there's a lot of violence going on here, and that's what it's going to be at the end, man. It's he's going to give his, he's going to pour out his wrath on those that don't love him, that don't listen to him. But let me look for this word here. 38:27. 38:27. Okay, and the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of the bush, and he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, but the bush was not consumed. So you're not talking about a literal fire here, but this flame is labah. It's a flame, or actually the tip of a weapon, the point or the head of a spear. And you got 38:52 is lehaba. It's a flame or flaming or a head, the tip of a weapon, the point of a spear. And you got lahab, which is a flame. So it's not actually the fire, it's the flame of the fire. And that's what comes out. So the flame, it's not the fire itself, but the flame of the fire. And we got Isaiah 20, 29 and 6. Let me see if I got these in here. Nah, let me look at it this way. Isaiah 29 and 6. I'm going to do it this way. 29 and 6. All right? Yeah, okay. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder, with earthquake, with great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of a devouring fire. So it's the flame of the devouring fire. And 30 and 30. And he says, my word is a flame, so we're talking about his voice, his word. All he's got to do is speak it, and the fire is there. 30 and 30. And you talk about fire and brimstone. That's not literal fire and brimstone. Uh, and the Lord shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall show the lightning coming down his arm with the indignation of his anger, with the flame of a devouring fire, with scattering tempest and hailstones. 66, 15, and 16. And these whole things, this whole thing is good. Let's read down here. For through the voice of the Lord shall the Assyrian be beaten down, which smote with the rod, and in every place where the grounded staff shall pass, which the Lord shall lay upon him, it shall be with tabrets and harps, and in battles of shaking will he fight with it. For Tophet is ordained of old, and we know what Tophet is, the picture of hell. Yea, for the king it is prepared, he hath made it deep and large. The pile thereof is fire and much wood. The breath of the Lord, like a stream of brimstone, doth kindle it. So his word is a fire. And then the treading underfoot. You'll see this foot. The word for foot is in a lot of these things. Foot is regal. So that's the word, and that's one of the stars up there too. Regal, and regalis, treading underfoot. 74:29. 74:29. A lot of these you just got to put together. Trod. So he's treading. Ramas, to tread down, to trample. And 72, we got that. So that's what this sign is doing. This is what Leo is doing. He's rending, he's plucking, he's wasting. He's plucking asunder, and he's coming vehemently. He's leaping forth as a flame. He's treading underfoot, and then you have the shining forth. Let's see, I got the words for this. Denabola. That's the judge or the Lord who cometh quickly. So you got Din is another word for den. That's Adon. Let me see if I get these words here. Hold on. And of course we know erkomai is the word in the Greek. We don't touch on too much Greek when we're doing these constellations and decans. But erkomai is coming, and the parousia, that's another word. You got 2064 erkomai coming, and you got over 600 verses with this erkomai in it to come. And the parousia, I don't have the number for that, but that's another word. That's the coming of the Lord. That's when he shall appear again. That's the parousia, his coming. The judge or the Lord who comes quickly. And I'm looking for the two words here. I don't know if that's Psalms 110. Let me go to Psalms 110 and 1 and see if that rings a bell. 110 and 1. The Psalm of David. The Lord saith unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. So he's coming to judge. So you got the two words for Lord here are, you got 3068 and 113. But the one they're using here is din. But let me throw this up here too. 3068, 68. Forget it. That's the Lord. That's Jehovah. So, but we're looking at this other one as din. Or Adon. It's another word for judge, but it also means Lord. When you look at the two of them together, you got Din, 0113, Lord. See, Lord, but it's Adon. All right, and that's one of the Denebola is the star, and I'm going to put these two together here. And you got Dene and Bahal, 926. 0926. So that's when you put these two words together, you get the star, Dene and Bahal. All right. And he comes quickly. It's the Lord Adon coming quickly, Bahal. So that's Adon Bahal, and it's called Denabola is the star name there. And then you got the judge or the Lord who comes quickly. Revelation 22, 7, 12, and 20. I just looked these up real quick because there was a couple of stuff in Revelation that I knew where he said he's coming quickly. So we'll do a little Greek here. 22, 7, 12, and 20. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. Not by works, not by works. And 20. He which testifieth these things saith, surely I come quickly. Amen. Even so, come, Lord Jesus. And that's right before that's the last, almost the last verse of the scripture. That's Leo. That's the Deneb. And there's another one, the judge who comes, who seizes. So you have a judge coming quickly and a judge coming who seizes. And that's, you got the din, like we had the this is 0177. So there's another word instead of the 113, which we looked at, which was the Adon, and that means also means Lord and Judge. But this here, this din, D-I-Y-N, is a word for judge here. So that's din. You can use the word is denabola, but you can substitute din here. This is also a judge. And that's and is the one who seizes is 3920. 3920. And he take. So it's Den, and I'm looking for the name so it's Den Alised. Deneb Alised. The judge cometh who seizes, and you put them together as Din Lachad. And Deneb Alised, and that's the two words there that we put together to get that star. And there's another star, Al-Giba, which means the exaltation. So you got to understand what these stars mean. And this Leo is all about coming and quickly and destroying and viciously. And then you have the exaltation over here, which is Al-Giba. And that's Sagab is 7682. 7682 is strong. Sagab, high, exalted. And that's what that is. And then also Gaba is 1361. 61, higher, exalted. So that's the star there, Gaba, to exalt. And then you got Al-Defera, the enemy thrust down. That's what that means. The enemy thrust down, and that's 5086. It's fun looking these things up, man. I actually enjoy it. 5086, that's the enemy thrust down, and that's Nadaf. Al-Defera Nadaf, thrust him down and drive away. So that's it. That's what this all this means, and that's Leo. But this other guy here, it was something I had missed here. So, Cease had some good stuff. This guy's a good writer. He's a little off on some things. His doctrine is not totally sound, but he comes up with some good stuff here. You know, I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let's see. So we see. Let me see if I can get this real quick in here. And it's talking about 132 and 133, talking about the lion. So he's got something on the lion that I thought was interesting. And this is in Cease's book, The Gospel and the Stars, on the Leo, on the lion. He says the text, I'm losing my light. The text speaks of a mystic lion. The lion is a kingly, majestic, noble, but terrible creature, so strong and courageous as to fear nothing, and so fierce and powerful that no other animal can stand before him. The names of the lion in Hebrew, Arabic, Syriac, and Coptic, though different, all signify about the same and mean he that rends, that tears asunder, that destroys, that lays waste. The name in Greek and Latin is formed from words which express sharp and flaming sight, leaping forth as flames, coming with raging vehemence. From this, we see how the earlier peoples were impressed by what they saw and knew of this terrible beast. The common sentiment of mankind has associated with royalty and dominion and awarded it the title King of Beasts. It scarcely has an equal in physical strength, which is further combined with extraordinary quickness and agility. Ordained to feed on flesh, it is fitted for the work of capture and destruction and is supplied with the most powerful physical machinery conceivable for the purpose. It can easily kill and drag away a buffalo, and it can crush the skull of a horse or break the backbone of an ox with one stroke of its paw. Its claws can cut 4 inches in depth in a single grasp. It has great ivory teeth capable of crunching a bullock's bones. The fall of its forepaw in striking is estimated to be equal to 25 pounds in weight, whilst it is able to handle itself with all the nimbleness of a cat, to whose family the lion belongs. The possession of such powers with its instincts for blood renders this animal wonderfully daring, bold, and self-confident, and the great terror of men and beasts in the vicinity of its haunts. When the lion is assailed and thoroughly aroused and lifts himself up in proud contemplation of his foes, though banded in troops around him, his composed, majestic, and defiant mien is described as noble, magnificent beyond conception, whilst the terribleness of his growl and the thunder of his roar contribute to make the picture almost superhumanly impressive. And this is the image which we are called to contemplate in a text as describing the character and majesty of Christ in connection with the final scenes of the taking of the roll from the hand of eternal Godhead and breaking of its seals and the clearing of the earth from all enemies and usurpers. That's a beautiful picture there, man. I'll tell you, he's pretty good. He's got some dumb stuff in here too, but he's good. He's good. Joseph Cease. There was something else I wanted to read in here, but we'll get it anyway. But we see the crushing of the head in a couple of different constellations. We had the head crush in Scorpio, Ophiuchus, the one who crushes the head. Hercules was crushing the head of Draco, the dragon, and then in Taurus, Orion was crushing the Lepus, the hare. So there's 4 different times where we have the crushing of the head, and that's the crushing of the enemy. 7580. Hold on a second. I got this written down here. Oh, that's the Neurohr. Hold on a second. 7580. Yeah, 7580. All right. Lion roared the voice after the voice before those days voice is heard. They gaped on me with their mouths as a ravening and roaring lion. What's ravening? Hold on a second. Ravening. Where is it? Ravening. 2963. Ravening. Taraf. Tear in pieces. Oh, that's got to be a good one there. Hold on a second. 2963. Taraf. rent him in pieces, torn in pieces. Talking about Joseph. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. If you be torn in pieces, he teareth me in his wrath. It's a good words here. He teareth himself in his anger, lest he tear my soul like a lion. Psalm 7 and 2, that's a good one. Psalm 7 and 2, lest he tear my soul like a lion, rending it in pieces. Another rending. Let me see what that rending is. Hold on a second. Rending it in pieces. Rending it in pieces. 65, 61. To break off. Oh yeah, parak. We're going to come across that too. It's another good word. Parak, break off, tear apart. That's one of the words here in, is it parak or parad? Hold on a second. Parad. I think it's parad. Well, we'll run into it again because that looks familiar to me. Okay. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. So they use the word prey here for tear. Raving, Psalms 22. They gaped on me with their mouths as a ravening and roaring lion. That's over here too also. That's in 22:13. So you got ravening and roaring in the same verse, Psalms 22:13. Right. The enemies roar. Okay, the young lions roar after their prey and seek their meat from God. Isaiah 5:29. Their roaring shall be like a lion. They shall roar like young lions. Yea, they shall roar and lay hold of the prey and shall carry it away safe, and none shall deliver it. You can picture that, Lion King. But you got a couple of roars in here too. Hold on a second. 5:29. Roaring. That's 75:80. Okay, that's the same thing. The Shehagat shall roar. Shall roar. 50:98. What's this? 50:98. Naham. Okay, we saw that. Naham. Hold the praise. Carry you safe away. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get too far off it. The young lions roared upon him and yelled, and they made his land waste. The cities are burned without inhabitants. So all these words here: roaring, lying, tearing pieces. A lot of good verses. What's this? Jeremiah 51:38. They shall roar together like lions. They shall yell as lions' whelps. Roaring. He shall roar like a lion. When he shall roar, then their children shall tremble from the west. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens of the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of his children of Israel. Like a fire. Amos 1, we read that? Okay. Yep. Okay. That's a good word. This I just haven't seen this yet. This the rending and tearing. All right. We'll look at that a little later. I will tear and go away. I will take away, and none shall rescue him. Talking about Ephraim. Come, let us return unto the Lord, for he hath torn, and he will heal us. He has smitten, and he will bind us up. All right, so he can tear you, and he can bind you up. Amos 1:11. Thus say the Lord, for 3 transgressions. Okay, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Nahum 2:12. The lion did tear in pieces, enough for his whelps, and strangled for his lioness, and filled his holes with prey and his dens with raven. So you look up Ryan, you look up lion, you look up raven, you look up tearing, and you get into all these wonderful verses, and some of them you're going to run into is talking about God rending and tearing in pieces, and he's angry. He's going to do that. Judge who comes quickly. So, and then we'll get into the Hydra, which is the serpent, and it means abhorred. It also means separated. There's a star in here that's like these stars aren't too bright in the sky, and there's one that's separated from the rest, and that's what the name of it is. It's Alphard, which means separate, and we'll look at that a little bit. So that's the old serpent. This is the old serpent being destroyed, and of course you can look up probably hundreds of verses, but we got Revelation 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So this was in the beginning. This is like between Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2. So, but when we get into the verses like in Revelation 19, where he's talking about he's cast out of the earth, and he's cast into the lake of fire. So that's a different story. So these last three decans sum up the prophecy of the destruction of the enemies of God, all of them. Satan, death, hell, all the enemies of God. Revelation 20. Revelation 20. And this is probably one of the easiest consolations to talk about because it's so simple. It's all about the destruction of the enemy and how that happens and who does it. And I saw 20:1, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. This is the abusos, this is the abyss. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. And this is ongoing now too. This really ain't the end. But when you read further down, you'll see it starts out with him being bound, and he's bound now, and he's going to be loosed that little season. And he cast him into the bottomless pit, and he shut him up, and he set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. And you can say that this is now, this is happening. This is contemporary. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given to them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. We know the 1,000 years to kill you, it's at least 2,000. And we know about the mark of the beast in the forehead. It's not a literal etching on the forehead or an etching on the hand. It's whatever is in your head, whatever you're thinking about. What are you thinking about all day? You thinking about getting and gaining, or you thinking about giving and that other stuff? It depends. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So whatever's in your head. Let me see. Where am I? 1,000 years. And whatever your hand is moved to do, whatever you do with your hands, that's the mark you're going to be. Either you're going to have the mark of the beast or the mark of Christ. One is death to self, and one is fulfill self. That's the concept I was looking for. Are you fulfilling self, or are you dying to self? That's what's on your forehead, and that's what's in your hand. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years was finished. This is the first resurrection. So we're like born again. That's what this is talking about, being born again. Blessed and holy is he that has part in the first resurrection. On such the second death has no power. We don't want to be part of that second death, man. The first death is fine. And we're born again. So that's the first resurrection. But they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him a Kilia. And when the Kilia is expired, Satan will be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog. You could do a whole study on that, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints round about, and the beloved city, Jerusalem. And fire came down from them, from God out of heaven, and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast. So you're going from Revelation 1:20 all the way down to here, 20:10, and it's the whole consummation of 2,000 years. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and a false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So there you go. And he just talked about 2,000 years from Revelation 1:1, Revelation 20:1 to Revelation 20:10. And then you got John. 5. John 5. I think this is right. I just wrote this in the last minute here because it's a different color pen. That's why I could tell. John 5, 28 and 29. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming, which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice, and they shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which has sent me. All right. And Daniel, I think Daniel 12, was it 12:2? 12:2. And this is the Hydra is getting ripped up, man. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. So that's why I put that John 5:28 up there. That's to coincide with Daniel 12. Okay. And then you got Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66. All the way down. Last one. Here we go. Come on. 66. 24. Yep, can't get any worse than that. There you go. That's the last of the last. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall die not, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. And that's the Hydra. It means abhorred. And we're getting into that word. I'll look it up in a second here. I want to see if there's any more verses. 66. So yeah, okay. The abhorring is 1860. 60. Abhorring. There it is. I should have looked it up right there. So it's in both of these verses, 66:24 and Daniel 12:2. And it's dareon, abhorring, contempt, aversion, and that's one of the names in the constellation is that. And there isn't much to this. It's a large constellation, and you see it's beneath. It takes up so much of the sky. It's beneath the Virgo. It's beneath the Leo, and it's also beneath Cancer. So it runs up against all three of them there. There's a whole bunch of verses with the destruction of Satan, but we got this, and then that one star. So that's the Hydra. That's the Aldrian. That's abhorred. Okay, that's one of the stars. And then you got separated. 6504. 6504. Separated is Al-Parad. That's separate. That's another one of the names in the constellation here. And then you got piercing the deliverer, Minkar al-Sugia. And there's two words, we put them together, Nakar and Shagar, 5365. And there's two of them here. I'm going to look at 7683. 683. All right, so we'll put these together, 5365 and 7683, and see what we come up with when we put them together. We got Naka Shaga, and the name of the thing is Minka al-Sugia. So it means piercing the deceiver. Let me get this separate out of here. Piercing, to put out, to thrust out, and the deceived, Shagar. So that's the name of the in the star there. And then you got, we're going on to the crater. We're moving right along here. So we're going into this, the cup, and this is another shorty too. I mean, this is short and sweet, this whole thing here. The cup is the divine wrath poured out on Satan. And you got a couple of words for cup. The two that we're concerned with is 3563, which is the cup, kos. All right. And then I'm not going to do the other Hebrew one because you don't run into that too much. But there's 4221 in the Greek is another cup. Or it's the only one in the Greek for cup, 4221. And that's poterion, cup, drinking vessel. And this is Pinot, I think. Pinot? Yeah, Pinot is drink. All right. So Pinot, poterion, drink the cup. And we know what a cup is. You know, it's drinking the cup is a death. And I got a bunch of. So this Psalms 75. I'm doing these now. I probably got them all up there, and I looked them up beforehand, but I still go and do this anyway. I don't know why, but I don't know why I bother putting them up there. 75. Well, I got to study. 75:8. Psalm 75:8. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red; it is full of mixture, and he poureth out the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. All right. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. So you got this cup, and this is 1,000 years before John, the Revelators, talked about this cup. And then you got Psalms 11. Psalms 11. I thought it was 16. I guess it's not. Oh, it's 6. 11 and 6. Okay. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and in horrible tempest. That shall be the portion of their cup. So that's a death, the cup. And then Isaiah 51. Isaiah 51. 17 and 21. Let's go to 51 first. That would be a good idea. 51. What did I say? 17 and 21. Awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of the Lord the cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of the trembling and wrung them out. And 21. Let's read down to it. There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she had brought forth, neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she brought up. These two things are come unto her. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction, and the famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee? Thy sons have fainted. They lie in the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. Therefore hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith thy Lord, the Lord and thy God that pleaded the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. So we know that a cup has something to do with something that ain't good. Revelation, we got a couple here, 14, 10, and 11. Get this out of here. Revelation 14, 10, and 11. 14, 10, and 11. Come on, man. Here we go. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they shall have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. And then that's on 11. 16, 19. 16, 19. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before God. Give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath, and give unto her double. I wonder what that verse is. 18 and 6, Revelation. 18 and 6. It's probably in here somewhere. Give unto her double. Here we go. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. Yeah. Twice dead. Revelation 20 and 10. 20 and 10. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and they shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. I guess they're drinking a cup too. I stuck that in there for some reason. So the cup, when you look at a picture of it, it's a deep cup. It's a wide cup, and it's fastened onto the back of Hydra, and they share. Which one do they share? They share Eldrian. Is it Eldrian? Which one they share? I don't know. I had it written down here somewhere, but they share a star or they share something up there. But this, even this Corvus is connected also because the Raven is going to be eating the Hydra. He's a flesh eater. He's a man eater. And we got a bunch of, so we're moving on to the Corvus here. We're getting into the crater, the cup. No, wait, I'm sorry. The Corvus is the crow or the raven. And this is devouring the enemy. And this is the last of it, man. We're moving into the home stretch. When Jesus, just before he died on the cross, he said, "It is finished." That was just the beginning of all it is. Ezekiel 39. I mean, he finished what he had to do. What am I looking at? Ezekiel? Yeah. Okay. Ezekiel 39. And we're going to look at all these verses with the fowls of the air. Come and enjoy the supper. All right. And thou, son of man, 39:17. And thou, son of man, thus saith the Lord, speak unto every feathered fowl and to every beast of the field, assemble yourselves and come, gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice, that I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that you may eat flesh and drink blood, that you may eat the flesh of the mighty, drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, lambs, goats, bullocks, and all them fatlings of Bashan. And you shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken, and my sacrifice, which I have sacrificed for you. That whole thing is good. And Revelation, of course, 19. There's a couple of others here. Maybe I had them here. Hold on a second. A couple I had written down in order. That's the parable of the fig tree, 21, that's 66. That's Parad Nakashaga. We did that. Excuse me here. That's the cup. All right. Here's the cup. This is, okay, this is the raven here. Okay, we're getting into the raven, and here we go. All right. 39, I knew I wrote these down for something. 39:17, we just read. 19, Revelation 19:17 and 18. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. So he's like quoting Ezekiel here. That was a long time before that. So John's seeing all of this good stuff. But what's this other one? Yeah, okay. Proverbs 30:17. He says, "The eye that mocketh at his father and despises to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it." So these are devourers of flesh here. There was something. Oh, when I was thinking of when Noah was in the ark, and he let out the raven, and then the dove. You know why the raven never came back? Take a guess. Because there was much flesh to devour. All those bodies that were floating around. He said, I'll just land on this and pluck away. But the dove didn't find any place to rest because it's not a devourer of flesh. But the raven that he sent out was a devourer of flesh, and he sent them out, and he was in heaven because it was bodies floating all over the place. That was cool. All right. So where was I? Here we go. 30 eye, we're going to pluck out that eye, man. I think of birds now. When I hear them in the morning, it used to be so pretty and gay, and it's still beautiful. You know, it's God's creation and everything. But now when I look at these things, I don't look at them so much for their beauty and how they sound. I'd say one of these days they're going to be plucking out somebody's eyes. they're devourers of flesh, man. You know, so. But you still, you know, you hear the beauty and all that stuff, and in the back of your mind, you're saying, devourer of flesh. 1 Samuel 17:46. This is with the Philistine and David here. He says, this day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, says David to Goliath, and I will smite thee and take thine hand from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. So we know what these beasts are. They're devourers of flesh. I think there's one more here. This one I threw in at the last minute. Jeremiah 25. I don't know if it's the whole thing here, but we'll start in 30. He says, therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth. And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth even to the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. Howl, ye shepherds, and cry, and wallow yourselves in the ashes, ye principal of the flock. For the days of your slaughter and of your dispersions are accomplished, and ye shall fall like a pleasant vessel. And the shepherds shall have no way to flee, nor the principal of the flock to escape. A voice of the cry of the shepherds and an howling of the principal of the flock shall be heard, for the Lord hath spoiled their pasture, and the peaceable habitations are cut down because of the fierce anger of the Lord. He hath forsaken his covert as the lion, for their land is desolate because of the fierceness of the oppressor, because of his fierce anger. Whew. He's angry, man. EWB, this guy here, Wayne, E.W. Bullinger. I got something here. John 5:28, and then the Redeemer. Okay. Let me see. 174, 175. I wrote something down here to read this guy. I don't know why. It has something to do with, okay, the different times that the head was crushed. And he's talking about it being a him and not a woman. He says, there he says, no woman's foot is seen upon the serpent's head. There no woman usurps the place of the all-righteous Redeemer. What was he talking about here? He's talking about, the system of Marianity, talking about Mary doing all of this stuff. I don't know if I want to get into this here. Talking about the Church of Rome, no. But he talks about the different times that the head was crushed. He says, in Ophiuchus we see him in a dread conflict with the serpent, and we see his foot upon the scorpion's heart. We see him, the risen Lamb, Ares, binding Cetus, the great monster of the deep. We see him in the glorious Orion, whose foot is coming down on the enemy's head. I think somebody's knocking at my door. We see him in the lion of the tribe of Judah, about to tread down the old serpent, the devil. Boy, oh boy. Can you hold on a second? Sorry. Oh, Wesley. I'm in the middle of a study right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll be done about 8:30. Okay. Yeah, I'll wrap up soon. Yeah, I was looking for it. Everybody was eating and everything. I know you're probably hungry, but I know you told me about it. I think you're good. Just 2 seconds. Okay. I'll be around. Okay. All right. I'm back. Oh, my old buddy here worried about me. He doesn't see me outside, so he's wondering where I was. That's okay. Told him I'm doing a Bible study. He said, okay, get back to it. So, where was I? Oh, this guy. All right, yeah, all right. No, I ain't gonna read him. He's talking about Rome and Mariology and all of that stuff. So I don't know why I put that down. And what else was I doing here? So this is the finish. This is the blow to the enemy, and this is it. And there's still dozens of other verses that we can talk about. Did I do Matthew? Hold on a second. Matthew 25. Of course, Matthew 25 is going to be 41 to 46. 41 to 46. You guys are still here, right? Okay. Yeah, then shall he say unto them on the left hand, depart from me, you cursed, into everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungered, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, you took me not in. Naked, and you clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and you visited me not. And this isn't talking about physical, stuff. This is all idiomatic language. He says, then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see thee hungered or thirst, a stranger, naked, sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily, verily, I say unto you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these, you did it to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. So, how long is everlasting punishment? As long as a life eternal, you know? So that's that. So this is the Redeemer has triumphed. The redeemed, us, are safe home, and the enemy is destroyed. And that's the gospel of the stars. And we covered it from top to bottom. And beautiful thing here. Let me see that. We'll close that. Close that. And we got this. So we're just going to take a moment here and thank God. And if you're still there, Brother Michael, if you can get to the microphone and say a few words for us, that would be great. If not, maybe Brother Timothy. Is this microphone on?
Okay. Heavenly Father, I come before you, worshiping your word, trying to do it every day with your help. Please stay with us. Please be with our families, with Pastor Jim and Mary, and the people who come there on Saturday evenings or Saturday afternoons. Lord, I don't deserve, as well as the rest of us, we don't deserve heaven, but your will is being done whether we like it or not. Also, Lord, studying you and the stars is so much more than we could ever hope for. And it's so vast, so deep that it'll take us an eternity to understand it, and then we still won't understand it. We will know it, that you're so massive, you're so deep, you're so the Father of everything, that being able to worship you in and out of the yesterday, today, and tomorrow is a blessing. And just to be alive this today and try to get it right is a blessing. And I thank God for waking up as well as my brothers and sisters do each morning, going out and doing your will to tell the people the truth, being hated for it, but that's okay. I ask this in the name of your son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, brother. So that's the quickie study tonight, man. I mean, there isn't much to this, but it's a beautiful consummation, and the whole picture of the gospel and the stars. Maybe we'll have a little something else to say maybe next week, but
It can't see us.
who's that? Is that you, Mike?
Yeah, I was too far away.
Yeah.
I was too far away from the computer when you said something.
All right. You're an old man. I know you can't get there fast.
I had to step over the missus. That ain't easy nowadays.
Oh, well, better step over to knock them down, right?
She don't need my help to hit the ground.
Yeah, you keep talking like that, you'll see who's hitting the ground. You know, so that's good. Who we got in the call now? We got 8 in the call. Who's there? Who else came? Let me see. 4 more people in the call. You got AJ, Diane. Hey, the bureaus made it. Janet, Jeff, Steve. You guys came in. Good for you. I'm glad. Let me turn off the recording. I'm going to stop recording. Thank you, God. Wow, 1 hour and 17 minutes. That was the quickest we ever did.